Retiring early isn't all that complicated, but it's challenging to get there. The more you can reduce your living expenses, the more you can pay off your debt and then invest. The more money you have saved or the higher your stream of passive income, the earlier you can retire. Three simple steps to get yourself set up to retire early. So far, you've cut your expenses, you've eliminated debt, you've invested in index funds, and or you have other passive investments like rentals. You have to have a stable budget. It sounds simpler than reality. Having a steady budget is tougher than said, but it's necessary for those living on passive income. Healthcare costs are increasing at a higher rate than inflation, and those swelling costs need to be considered. Having a bunch of money invested isn't all that hard over a long time horizon, but it's challenging to accomplish in a short amount of time. You've worked hard to make this happen. It wasn't as simple as a three-step process. You have a stable monthly budget. You've accounted for the extra cost of insurance. You have investments worth 25 times your yearly expenses, or you have passive income that pays enough for you to live on. Now you need to know how soon you can retire. Someone with fewer expenses can save more compared to a big family with higher expenditures who might be paying a hefty mortgage. If you're single and living at home, you could save 90% of your income. Fewer obligations give you more opportunities to save. A realistic maximum figure for a family of four with two high incomes living on their own is saving 75% of their income. A general guideline as to how soon you can retire: if you're saving 85% of your income, you can retire in 4 years. 75%, 7 years. 65% of your income invested, 11 years. 55% of your income invested, 15 years. 45%, 19 years. You'll need to figure things will cost more in the future. This means you'll need to have more saved the farther out your retirement. If you want to retire now, multiply your yearly expenses by 25. 5 years from now, multiply your yearly expenses by 28. 10 years, multiply by 33. 15 years, multiply your yearly expenses by 38. 20 years, multiply your yearly expenses by 44. Things will cost more in the future. And this is why the multiplier is higher. If you were to retire today, you'd need 25 times your yearly expenses. But if you want to retire with enough money to afford your current standard of living, you'll need more money in the future. Food, travel, insurance will all cost more, and you need to account for it. Otherwise, you'll have to go back to work. Items within your control to alter the time frame you can retire: the age you retire, your income stream, monthly contributions, investment strategy like the rate of return. What you're about to learn is from the book Fast Fire: Rules for Personal Finance to Quickly Become Financially Independent and Retire Early. It's by Dr. Jim Kay. Do you want to build the confidence to retire early? Do you need to know exactly how much money you'll need to last a lifetime and retire on your terms? Do you want straight answers and no complicated formulas? Do you want inside tips and tricks the wealthy use to invest and make more out of the stock market so you'll be able to quit your job sooner? Here, you'll get direct and clear guidance on where to invest your money. You'll be given smart, sound, straightforward personal financial advice with direct answers to become financially independent for anyone to retire early. You won't be sold on any memberships, classes, emails, sign-ups, or mailing lists. No scams. Just the information you need to retire rich and early. Less than 1% of Americans retire before age 50. This puts you at a 99% disadvantage of becoming wealthy and retiring early. But if you can follow the clear guidance and specific strategies in these lessons, you can become a member of the exclusive 1%. You need an accurate cost of living. You have to imagine what you'll be spending money on when you retire. Life will be different from now in 7 to 15 years. It's one thing to take your current living expenses and try to figure out how soon you can retire, but your living expenses will be different in the future. You can get a rough idea from today's cost, but you'll need to subtract and add some incidentals to be accurate. Some current costs you may be able to subtract by the date you retire: payroll taxes, life insurance, cost of raising children, monthly debt and mortgage, going out to eat with work friends, the expenses of maintaining an older home, job-related expenses such as clothing, meals, and transportation. Before you give your 2 weeks notice, you'll need to figure out how much money you'll spend on things your employer is supplementing. Even when you retire, you'll need insurance, and you'll have to pay for it on your own. Not having proper health insurance in conjunction with a catastrophic illness can take away all of your plans for staying retired. Picture this. You retire without insurance and have to pay $2 million for cancer treatment to stay alive to enjoy your retirement. When you quit your job, you'll be losing employer-sponsored insurance. Before you retire, you need to find health, dental, and possibly life insurance. Typically, employers supplement the cost of these insurance plans. When you retire, you'll have to pay for these things on your own, or figure your eligibility for government or employer-sponsored programs for your age. You need to consider these extra costs with your monthly budget. Some costs you may need to add to your expenses: travel, hobbies, insurance. As your home ages, you'll be spending more on maintenance, typically 4% of the value. Create a SMART goal. With a time frame in mind, set your retire early SMART, and that's specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound goal, along with a vision of what you'll do in retirement. Back in 1981, George Doran, Arthur Miller, and James Cunningham were the first to write about SMART goals in the magazine Management Review. Over the years, the words have altered, but the idea remained the same. Set a concrete goal for when you want to retire. Post a note on your bathroom mirror. As you write your goal, keep in mind each letter and what word corresponds with that letter. For specific, don't be vague. Instead of rich, give a particular and measurable dollar amount. Attainable has to do with having this goal within your control. Realistic and relative go hand in hand, and it's simply asking, is this something I truly want? Is it possible for you? Does it fit in with what's essential in your life? Time bound. Near the beginning of your written goal, state a date of when you can make this happen. At the top of your card, write retire. Under the title, write a specific date and a particular dollar amount for your fast fire investment accounts, all 3 accounts. If you also want an income stream, be explicit with the amount of profit it'll generate. Write about why you want to retire early. Writing your SMART goal will make your dream real for you and be a reminder of why you're making the sacrifices today for retirement in the not so distant future. Adding an idea of what you'll be doing during retirement will also help you focus on what's important. Rise to your goal by focusing on daily habits and routines that will help you get there. Pulling money from regular mutual fund accounts. It's been years of contributions to your regular mutual fund. Over the years, it has grown from your monthly savings and reinvesting interest. You'll use part of this fund as you approach 59 and a half years old. To get started, pull money out of your regular mutual fund account in May. You can pull out up to 4% of your overall investments each year, plus inflation. Figure your yearly expenses. Subtract any money you'll get from other sources like bonds, pensions, rental income. Do some simple math to make sure the amount you need to withdraw is 4% or less of all of your stock investments. Take your living expenses. Divide that number by 0.04. If this large number is less than or equal to your overall stock investments, you're doing excellent. Choose May to pull money out of your stock market because the stock market typically sees its high points in May. October is the beginning of a lull in the stock market. Pull out the full year of expenses and safeguard this withdrawal in a money market or savings account, from which you'll pay yourself a monthly salary. If the money invested in the stock market continues to grow, you'll have enough in your regular mutual fund to last until age 59 and a half. You've worked hard to save money, and now it's time to live off it. Year 2 of retirement and beyond. Each year, you get a raise. Because of inflation, you may need more money. The cost to buy things is more expensive. In May, pull out the money you'll need for living expenses with an additional 3% for inflation. Look at how much you pulled out last year. Multiply that by 1.03. With your other sources of income, you now have enough to live on even with inflation. At age 59 and a half, the government recognizes you can officially retire and begin to pull money from your retirement accounts, your 401k or IRA and Roth IRA. Pay yourself a salary by pulling out up to 4% of the total. In May, withdraw the money, minus any payments you know will be coming in during the year from income such as rentals, bonds, and pensions. Even though you retired years earlier, the government now recognizes you're retired, and congratulations. Age 60 plus. At age 60 plus, you might be eligible for Social Security. Take the amount of money you've been living on last year and multiply this dollar amount by 1.03 to take inflation into account. Then, subtract Social Security you'll now be getting. Subtract other sources of income. Pull this dollar amount out of your retirement investments to live. Leave the rest of your investments to grow.